it's time for your 420 Radio News for Thursday, April 4th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. Marijuana legalization wins majority support in nationwide poll from the Los Angeles Times. A majority of Americans support legalizing marijuana, a new poll indicates, with the change driven largely by a huge shift in how the baby boom generation feels about the drug of their youth. By 52% to 45%, adult Americans back legalization, according to the survey released Thursday by the Pew Research Center. The finding marks the first time in more than 4 decades of Pew's polling that a majority has taken that position. As recently as a decade ago, only about 1/3 of American adults backed making marijuana legal. Two big shifts in opinion go along with the support for legalization and likely contribute to it. Most Americans no longer see marijuana as a gateway to more dangerous drugs, and most no longer see its use as immoral. DEA, we can't intercept Apple iMessages. This from Mashable.com. The Drug Enforcement Agency has traditionally relied on wiretapping to nail criminals, but modern technologies, including Apple's iMessages, are making its work considerably harder. In an internal DEA document obtained by Declan McCullough and Jennifer Van Grove at CNET, the agency complains that because of its encryption, quote, it is impossible to intercept iMessages between two Apple devices, end quote, even when a judge has approved the wiretapping effort with a warrant. Confirmed by the document is the federal law enforcement agencies are seriously concerned about their ability to snoop on suspects' real-time communications when the targets are using modern technology. That's further evidenced by the FBI's decision to deem it a top priority to expand its ability to intercept internet-based communications. Governor Beshear has until Saturday to veto hemp bill. This from WDRB.com. No news may be good news for advocates of industrial hemp in Kentucky. Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear has until Saturday to decide whether he will veto the bill. If he does not make a choice by then, the legislation automatically becomes law. The General Assembly passed the measure last week in the final minutes of the regular session. It would allow Kentucky farmers to grow hemp and the state to regulate it if the federal government lifts its ban on the plant. Wyoming's attempt to ban medical marijuana not done yet. State Supreme Court takes the case. From Michigan Live. The city of Wyoming, Michigan, and its attempt to ban medical marijuana within its boundaries appears to have gained new life after the state Supreme Court justices today agreed to hear the case. The State Court of Appeals about 7 months ago ruled that a new Wyoming ordinance, essentially banning medical marijuana, was not legal. At that time, a 3-judge appeals court panel ruled unanimously that the city ordinance conflicts with the state's Medical Marijuana Act. It rejected the city's argument that the state law contradicts a federal ban on marijuana, which is listed as a Class 1 controlled substance. In today's decision to hear the case, Supreme Court justices said they want both sides to submit legal briefs on whether the city's zoning code is subject to state preemption by the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act. And if it is, they want to hear arguments on whether the Medical Marijuana Act itself is subject to federal preemption by federal law that makes marijuana an illegal substance. Union Group plans rally at Portland Medical Marijuana Dispensary from the Kennebec Journal, Augusta, Maine. Saying Maine's largest medical marijuana dispensary has ignored many of its workers, a union group is planning a Portland press conference and literature drop to support unionized workers on Saturday. The rally, announced in a news release from the Maine AFL-CIO, is the second planned protest against Wellness Connection of Maine, slated for week's end. On Friday, Chris Knoyer of the Maine Patients Coalition said his group will be gathering advocates outside the company's Hallowell location. An employee of Wellness Connection set off a state investigation of the company's Auburn cultivation site last month. At its end, the Department of Health and Human Services cited the group for 20 violations of state law and policy, including use of 9 types of pesticides on marijuana. Drug test results from the Georges St. Pierre Nick Diaz UFC fight have come back negative. This from BleacherReport.com. The recent fight between Georges St. Pierre and Diaz test results have come back, and no fighter has tested positive. According to the statement, 6 fighters at UFC 158 were tested in their anti-doping program, and all 6 came back with negative results. While no names were released, it's almost standard practice among the commissions that the main event fighters will be tested, and Diaz's name did not come up. And that's your 420 Radio News for Thursday, April 4th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we go behind the headlines and take a look at the GOP's drug testing dragnet as reported by The Nation. It's a look at the Drug and Alcohol Testing Industry Association and Robert DuPont, the man who got them all started. You'll learn how lobbying and Republicans are working to get your pee. This is the Russ Belville Show. We'll be right back after this.